Our next inductee is a great friend, Ted Kellner, who's been a great supporter of Wisconsin athletics as well as the University of Wisconsin. Ted and I have had the great fortune of being able to introduce one another at a number of different functions. We never pass up the opportunity of throwing barbs at one another. Ted was a walk-on basketball player. He played for John Erickson. I once went to John and asked, "Tell me about Ted as a player." John said, "Never saw a shot that he didn't like, and he didn't follow instructions very well." As far as I know, Ted and his father Jack are the only father-son inductees to the Hall of Fame. Jack would be very proud of you, Ted. Congratulations, Ted. An honor well deserved.
Ted Kellner is one of the most generous supporters Wisconsin athletics has ever known. From endowing scholarships to being a lead donor to major projects like the Kohl Center, the Camp Randall renovation, and of course, Kellner Hall. Ted, thank you for everything you do for the Badgers, and congratulations on this very well-earned honor.
Well, thanks, Pat. I appreciate those comments, and yeah, it's been a labor of love for me. As you stated, the University of Wisconsin is a big part of my life, has always been, and to be a part, particularly of the success that we've had over the last years since Barry and Pat Richter are there, it's been very special for me. So thanks for those nice comments.
What did your father, Jack, who is also in the EW Athletics Hall of Fame as an All-American hurdler in track, what did he instill in you about Wisconsin athletics?
He was a very humble guy. He was very soft-spoken. He was a tremendous businessman. He was a tremendous athlete. As you noted, he won the Big Ten 1935 high hurdle, Big Ten hurdles. He also qualified for the 36 Olympics. He was the first alternate. So he was a very good athlete. And he always taught me about athletics. Athletics, for those people that have played at various levels, and particularly at the collegiate level, it's really about team. And Dad was a real team player in every regard. And he would come up and work with me on accounting and finance when I was in school, and he was just a wonderful, wonderful guy. So, as I said, he was special in so many ways, and to be now part of the Hall of Fame, anything that my dad's been a part of, if I'm a part of it, I know it's pretty special. He was a wonderful guy.
So I'm not sure if he got you into hurdles or not, but you did play basketball at Wisconsin. What do you remember about your time on the Badger basketball team?
Well, I thought my time at Madison, I would have been called a preferred walk-on in today's jargon. They didn't call us that. I thought that was just a stepping stone and part of my way to the NBA. But that didn't quite happen, Pat. But there again, I made some lifelong friends on the basketball team from my class. John Poser was on that team. He was a baseball player at Madison. Jim McCallum, who we lost several years ago, Mike Carlin, Denny Sweeney. Great friends, and I had a great experience playing basketball. I was on the team for 2 years, and then my junior year, as I said, I was with Johnny Erickson was a coach. He asked me to walk on, and in my junior year, he said, "Ted, would you mind walking off?" So I was done after 2.5 years. It was not a distinguished career, Pat. It was not a very distinguished career.
Barry likes to joke that you never saw a shot you didn't like. He definitely subscribes to that theory. Ted, the list is very lengthy, but what do you consider maybe one of your proudest contributions to UW, other than your basketball game?
Well, for me, Madison's a special place, and I think anybody that's been able to give back and has the feelings that I do for Madison, what's special about and why I have been as involved, not just in athletics, but through the foundation and the business school and my wife in education, the whole experience at Madison was so special that I'm hoping that what we have done as a family, my dad did, and all those thousands of others, I think we do it because we want to create the same environment or the same opportunities for people that are coming to the school today and will come in the future. It's a special place as I view it. And I would like the thousands of young people to have the same experience, because if you experience it like I do, it really is it's a very life-changing experience.
Well, you certainly have a legacy at UW. There's no doubt about that. You've also had a front row seat for pretty much all the biggest events in UW's last several decades.
Yeah.
There are a few that pop out in your mind of games or things that you've been at where you say, yeah, that I'll never forget that Badger game.
The first Rose Bowl was special. If you recall that, and I don't know if you were there, but it was such an unlikely journey. We had been 5-6 2 years in a row prior, and I think Barry's first year was 1-10, and then all of a sudden the '93 season comes along, and that leads to the Rose Bowl. And never not having been to the Rose Bowl for 31 years, we went last in the 1962-63 season, to finally get there, and then to have, if you were there or had the opportunity to see it, walking into what was called Camp Randall West. I mean, I don't know what the numbers were, Pat, but you've seen that picture, 70,000, 65,000, whatever. I mean, the UCLA fans didn't really care. And that place was a home game. So that whole season was magical. And when I walked into the Rose Bowl that day and the events leading up to it, it was just so special. So that would be number one, I think, and Barry concurred in that. But, both in football and in basketball and hockey, I've been to many of those events. The Final Four that Bo took us to, the 2 Final Four years were special. Going to all those tournaments as I did was unique. Our athletics have been since Barry, since 1990 with Donna, Pat, what they did, have gone to a level, as you know, that is one of the best and finest, not only on the field, but in the quality of the people that we have in our program. So we've had a lot of special times in Madison the last 30 years.
No doubt about that. Well, congratulations. Is there anyone that you would like to take this opportunity to recognize or to thank as you're going into the Wisconsin Athletics Hall of Fame?
Well, there'd be a myriad of people. I think first and foremost, Frank, and I've said this when I've given talks, I mean, the first person would without doubt be my wife. I mean, my wife, Mary, is a saint. To be married to me, you've got to be a saint. But she's allowed me to be the person I am. My family has been supportive. We talked about my dad. He's not here, but if he were here, and I'm sure he's watching, he molded me and to a great degree the person I am. So to thank him. I'd like to thank the entire University of Wisconsin. I had great professors, great friendships. Barry, we've talked about, Pat Richter, Donna Shalala, Becky today. I just had so many people that have been a part of my life. If I thanked everybody, we'd be going on for another hour. But those would certainly be some people that have had a big part, and I'd say thanks to.
Well, on behalf of Badgers everywhere, let me say thank you to you for everything you've done for Wisconsin athletics, and congratulations on being a part of the class of 2020.
Thanks, Pat. It's a real honor. It really is. Thanks very much.
Thanks to Kohl's for helping us celebrate the entire class of 2020. You too can celebrate the Badgers and get your gear at your local Kohl's or Kohls.com.